What's up, guys? I'm Nobody Special, and we're doing our video from the car today in honor of the Uneducated Economist. It's another YouTube channel that I highly recommend, and he did a video yesterday. The video was about jet fuel, but he spent a lot of time talking about car prices, and he inspired my thoughts for this video, so we're going to do this one Uneducated Economist style. He was talking about how he thinks there is a big dive in car prices coming, and his logic was pretty good. I'm inclined to agree with him. You see, the car makers, there's been this shortage of new cars because of the chip shortage. But the thing is, there's only a shortage of finished cars because the car makers are still producing cars. There's actually parking lots and fields full of brand new, beautiful F-150s, finished vehicles except for the chips. They still don't have those chips, and they're still making them. They've slowed production. Some plants have been shut down, and they're kind of limping along week to week. But there are still cars being made. They're just not done yet. And when those chips finally start rolling in, those new vehicles are going to hit the market. And there's a lot of new vehicles are going to hit the market all at once. And this big run-up that we've seen in used car prices is going to nosedive really the same way lumber prices did, right? We have this underlying upward pressure on all of our prices right now caused by inflation. But some of these things we're seeing the markets are just way overreacting, and the speculation is taking over, and the frenzied buying is taking over. And it's causing some of these prices to violently correct downward the way we saw lumber prices, the way Economic Ninja called it. Now, if that were to happen to car prices, used car prices would drop also. And we have our motto here, live small, dream big. And I spend most of my time on the dream big side of things, talking about investments and precious metals and preparing yourself for economic difficulties and how to make your money grow. But live small is every bit as important to your financial health and well-being. And today I want to talk about live small, because with car prices where they're at right now, you should not be buying a car unless you absolutely must. Buying a car right now is the worst, probably the worst financial decision you could make. And I want to challenge that thinking. Let's say you're a two-car household living in suburbia, which, most suburban households are two-car households. And say your car dies. Do you really need that second car right now? I want you to think long and hard. And I thought about this, and I'm like, yeah, of course we need two cars. There's my wife and I, we have two kids. The kids have dance recitals and classes and camps that they have to get to. But I went back and I thought about it, and I could only think of one time in the last 2 months where both of our cars have been out at the same time. Once in 2 months. You see, my wife and I both work from home. We're very fortunate in that we can keep working with the lockdown from home, and we're not going back to the office anytime soon. And I know a lot of you guys watch the news. Look, folks, we're leaning towards more lockdowns, at least in certain parts of the country. There's a lot of pressure to re-implement the lockdowns. I know you don't want to hear about it. I sure don't want to hear about it. But that's the reality. That's what they're pushing for. So if we're not going to be going back to the office anytime soon, do we really need that second car? And the answer is no, we don't. Now, I want to throw some numbers at you. The average cost of a car to keep it on the road in the United States, $9,561 per year. That's payments on the car, fuel, maintenance, documentation fees, insurance, all right? $9,561 a year. That's almost $800 a month. Think about what you could do with $800 a month. Are you in credit card debt? Boy, $800 a month would sure help you out with that, wouldn't it? Do you want to start a business? Well, $9,561 a year, that's seed money for starting that side gig that you've wanted to do. And the more I think about it, yes, there's some inconvenience and there's some discomfort involved with going down to a one-car household, right? Oh my God, I need the car. No, honey, I need the car. How are we going to do this, right? There's going to be some headache with that. But I thought about it in that one time in the last 2 months where my wife and I were both out with each of the cars, I could have taken an Uber. And the average price of an Uber is $25.73. So let's round that up. Say round trip, $52. Once in 2 months, I would have had to spend $52 instead of the $1,600 in average cost to keep a car on the road during that time. I mean, the payoff here is big. And since Live Small is such a vital part of what we do here, I want you to challenge that status quo. I want you to challenge that traditional thinking. Do you really need that second car, Suburbia? If you're in the city, do you really need that one car? Because my goodness, if it's $9,561 a year in Suburbia, I cannot imagine the cost of keeping a vehicle in the city. Do you really need it? And I know you're thinking, oh God, what a pain in the butt to have to take an Uber and to plan like that, but what can you do with that money? And is it worth that pain in the butt? I think it is. And I can tell you right now, both of our cars are paid off. So since we're not making any payments, it doesn't really make sense for us. But I am strongly considering right now selling one of my cars, one of my paid off cars. Because used car prices, the average used car transaction was $25,410 last month. $25,410 for used cars. So I could take one of my paid off cars right now, sell it, get an artificially high price for it, suffer a little bit of hardship, right? Take an Uber once, twice a month maybe. And then when these things calm down and when all these new vehicles hit the market, because the chips finally came in and used car prices tank, then I could buy my car back and I could have that comfort back if I really need to. But you know what? I'm wondering if I go a few months without two cars and I see all the money I'm saving, maybe I don't buy that second car at all. I just want to challenge that thinking, and I want you to start thinking that way. Every penny you save is a penny you can invest or a penny you can preserve, and who knows what you could do with that money. Anyways, guys, that's all I got today. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out. Head over, check out the Uneducated Economist. I'll put a link down in the description to his video. He's a really fun channel. I mean, it's just a guy. He just talks in his car and he talks about lumber prices and what he sees on the ground. And he's got a very no-nonsense approach to economics. And I learn a lot watching him. So I highly recommend that channel. So again, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, guys. It would really help me out. In the meantime, live small, dream big.